Welcome to Smart Simplified. Elon Musk recession? What recession? 36 months recession prediction. Elon Musk predicts the USA's recession and how it might last. The economy is in recession. Recession will get worse. It will likely be challenging to do. I don't know how many years it has been. You know? Usually, it takes 12 to 18 months. The time it takes for the man who needs to correct it. It is difficult to know what your bite is doing when you are not there. It's not easy, to be frank. Much done, and you know what else? Like the Joe Biden administration. I didn't leave out Joe, but there were many. You are efficient at getting things done. But this administration seems to be just able to get things done. Biden, where, Biden? I thought you were talking about inflation, but then correlations with taxing corporations. And Bezos claimed that this was misinformation and disinformation, etc. What do you think? Complete exchange between the parties. I mean the apparent reason why inflation occurs. The government printed a gazillion copies of the currency. It had earned more money than it had received. It's almost as if the government doesn't have any other options. You know what you have. Issue checks far more than revenue. Without inflation, you can still enjoy the benefits of being a human. Know the velocity of money kept constant, so if nothing changes, the velocity of money. Federal government issue checks. They don't bounce, they bounce. Creating more of what you want. Dollars in, if possible, more dollars. Created than the increase of the goods. The economy's services and output. You have inflation again, velocity. Money held constant. This is only a basic example. You know how complicated it is. If the government could just issue, you can make a lot of money, and you'll have a lot of fun. Why is it that deficits don't matter now? Just make the deficit 100 times greater. Okay, the answer is no. The dollar will be transformed into a currency. Nothing is worthless. Various countries have attempted to do this. This experiment has been repeated multiple times. I wonder what would happen if this happened. If this is possible, please let me know. Venezuela, as the poor people of Venezuela? Their government will not allow them to run amok. So obviously, you can't just, create. Money is the real economy. The economy is just as important as the real one. It's not the output of goods or services. It's the literal output. Money is just a currency. Way to go for us too, or any other thing that you desire. Call money it is a way to get paid. You can easily exchange goods or services. You don't have to barter. Also, it is possible to transfer obligations at any time. These are the reasons you should have. Money is the thing we call money. It's like having money in a database. An information system for the labor, allocation and exchange of goods, services and translating on the time. Elon shifts gears to the economy. Would you happen to know what we saw? Negative 1.4 GDP growth in Q1. Interest rates have been rising. The consumer's cost of living has increased. Things like this are possible by getting loans. We've had a stock market correction. A crash in growth stock is a crash. Software stocks. What data are you calling from your position? Where do you believe the economy is? Are you in the right direction? How do you deal with a recession? How could you evaluate our current situation? The economic situation can be predicted accurately. Economic macroeconomics is an ongoing topic. It is difficult to want to assign these probabilities are a bit ironically. People asked me the same question last year. What do you think about the economy? I said, we're in a recession. In approximately spring 2022, 2023, 2024. Yes, so. Now, the important thing is that recessions do not always have to be bad. Yes, you know what I have now gone through are just a few. They have happened, and you should not be surprised at what they did. The boom that lasts too long. You get misallocations of capital. It starts to rain money on fools, basically. It's almost like money is given to dumb things. I'm sure you've seen some of these. It gets out of control at some point. You have a misallocation. Human capital. What people do. Things that are not funny and useless. Their fellow human beings invest fund. Spending get relevant to prioritize. Acknowledge their fellow humans around them. Those companies must be. If you're looking for an economic enema, this is it. To have every type of shift. Uncomfortable in their chairs. The financial enema eventually dies. Job. If you say yes, it will clear out your pipes. Bancroft and those that are making valuable products is a way to make money. This is the lesson. If one is making use of it, product, and does it have a company? It makes sense, but make sure you aren't. Don't run things too close to your edge. They're capital-minded. Some capital reserves last through the irrational times. It had happened in the past when there was a recession. It's incredible how it's been flipped. Remember this when you are starting. We had 2,000 of them. We had to make sure we could meet the high demand. People like VCs are like a VC without any term sheet wiring money to our account. We'll send you the term sheet shortly. They were literally like we like sleuths. Could you find your bank account number? Money in. It was almost like there was fire. Losing money in March 2000. The market entered into existence in April 2000. It was a free fall, and it stopped money from rising. Even good companies didn't care about money. Could not raise funds. It's important to remember this. Do you almost know PayPal, Mind? In 2000, we went bankrupt. Close. But, thankfully, we had raised that $100 million in March 2000. Without it, we wouldn't be where we are today. It's over, basically. We saw it coming, so we were happy. Like we got that the Infinity merger completed in 3 weeks. And raised $100 million. We were like, oh, how? We see this coming to an abrupt halt. It was then like this a month later. Do you know what a nightmare is? It's important. Make sure you are a healthy company. You have some capital to get you through things. And then, what are your costs? If it's a recession, it is more likely than you think. It is not a sign that recession is imminent, but it is most likely. Then just pay attention to your cash flow. Positive cash flow is possible as soon as possible. We are currently in a recession, and that recession will get worse. But you also know that these things will pass. Boom times will return, so it'll likely be hard going forward. I don't know how many years it has been. You know. Usually, it takes 18 to 36 months. The time it takes to do this. For the correction to be made. What do you guys think? It feels like it began, you know? This was a slowdown that began earlier in the year. Guess what? We need to have 2 quarters of the negative growth. Can feel like it is in a recession, but it feels like one is starting. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, comment and share.